to my channel, Study Abroad with Mark. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Michael Asante Kwenu, and I make videos about scholarship and study abroad opportunities. If you want me to make more videos like this, please like my videos, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can get notifications anytime I make new videos. Today, we'll be discussing 4 easy ways you can prepare for the Turkiye Burslari Scholarship Interview. So without wasting much time, let's delve right into the video. So by now, you might have submitted the application for the Turkiye Burslari Scholarship, which opened on the 10th of January and closed on 20th February. So now, probably you are waiting to be called for the interview. So what things can you do whilst you are waiting to be called for the interview? So we are going to walk you through 4 easy steps you can use to prepare whilst you are waiting to attend the interview. Step number 1, prepare all original documents you use for the application. Number 2, research about the schools you selected. Number 3, begin learning some basic Turkish words. And number 4, practice some possible interview questions and answers. So you're going to look at all these steps one by one and what needs to go into them. So the first thing you should be working on now after you have submitted your application is to be preparing your documents. Now, what do I mean by preparing your documents? So remember, whilst you are applying for the scholarship, you uploaded some documents such as your high school diploma if you are an undergraduate applicant, bachelor's, master's degree diploma if you're a postgraduate applicant. And so all these documents that you uploaded in the TBBS portal, you need to make sure that you get the original copies. So I'm quickly going to walk you through some of the very important documents you need to make sure you have by now, so that when it is time for the interview, it will be easier for you. The first document you need to have is your high school diploma and transcript. So this applies to those who are applying for an undergraduate degree. If you apply for a postgraduate degree, be it a master's or a PhD, then you should also have your bachelor's or master's degree diploma. So this is the actual certificate that shows that you have graduated from a bachelor's or a master's degree. Then you also need your bachelor's or master's degree transcript. The transcript is the document that details your academic records from first year to final year. So you need to make sure you have the original copies of this. And if you have plans of studying in Turkey, then you should also try as much as possible to get a proof of English proficiency. You can easily get this by sitting for the TOEFL exams or the IELTS, but I will recommend that you sit for TOEFL. If you do not want to sit for TOEFL, then you can request your university to give you a document that proves that your main language of instruction for your program was English. Then of course you also need your travel documents. So this is your passport. And so if you don't have your passport by now will be the good time for you to start making plans to get a passport. Now, the documents that have been highlighted with asterisks are documents that are necessary. These are documents you have to make sure you have by all means before the interview day. Beyond these documents, you may need to provide any other additional document you uploaded to support your application. So maybe in your application you stated that you were awarded a certificate, a citation for excellent performance. Maybe you volunteer with an NGO for some time and you uploaded some documents to support this. Now you also need to have these additional documents with you just in case you are asked. But remember, the ones with the asterisks are must have. You cannot attend the interview without these documents. So what's next after having secured all the documents you need for your interview? Well, the next thing I recommend you do is to start researching about your schools. Now the schools here refers to the 12 schools you selected whilst you are applying for the scholarship. And there are some things you need to make sure you find out about these schools, because it is possible that you might be asked some of these questions in the interview. So the first thing you need to know about the schools you selected are the schools ranking. Also, you need to know the cities where each of these schools are located in Turkey. You also need to know about the department that runs the programs you chose and some faculty members. By having some of this information ready, it will be easier for you to answer questions about your school when you are asked on the interview day. Now, another thing I recommend you do whilst you are preparing for your interview is to start learning some basic Turkish expressions. Now, it doesn't matter whether or not in your application you only selected schools that offer your program in English. Remember, as part of the scholarship, all scholarship awardees will be required to enroll in a 1-year Turkish language training. And so because of this, during the interview, the scholarship committee will be looking out for students who are showing interest and readiness to learn Turkish. So it will be a good advantage for you to start learning some basic Turkish expressions now, so that on the interview day, you can convince the committee that you are ready and willing to learn Turkish. So what are some of the things you can learn? You can learn some greeting expressions like günaydın, which means good morning, iyi günler, which means good day, and iyi akşamlar, which means good evening in Turkish. You can also learn how to say simple words of appreciation like teşekkürler, which means thank you, or çok teşekkür ederim, which also means thank you very much. Or you can learn how to ask farewell questions like how are you and are you fine in Turkish. In Turkish, nasıl sentence means how are you. İyi misiniz means are you fine. You can get information about basic Turkish expressions on YouTube, or you can start using Duolingo to practice your Turkish. And I can assure you that if you do this on the interview day, you will be able to express yourself in basic Turkish expressions, and that will impress your interviewers. Now, the last thing I recommend you do whilst you are preparing to attend the interview is to start practicing possible interview questions. Now, what are some of the possible questions you can be asked during the interview? You might be asked to talk about yourself. You might be asked questions about what you are currently doing. You may also be asked questions about the programs you chose, the schools you chose, and why you chose them. Then, of course, you might be asked questions about your motivation for wanting to study in Turkey. And if you're a PhD applicant, prepare to answer questions on your research proposal. Now, it is important that you find someone, be it a friend or a relative, to practice these questions with and their answers. However, in a separate video, I'm going to share with you all possible questions that you can be asked during the interview and how you can answer them. I'm also going to share with you my experience with the interview and the questions that was asked, how I answered them, and how this helped me to pass the interview. So this is the end of our discussion on ways to prepare for the Turkish Burslari Scholarship Interview. If you like this video, please do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you get updates anytime I upload new videos of this sort. Thank you, and see you in the next video.